Well, hello, boys and girls. It's when I feel like 8 o'clock, and I should have did this already. By the I'm Pearl of Wisdom. You're listening to my NHL Pearls of Wisdom in the Red Room. I had to do some extra meditation today for this video. I like I said, I should have did it already, but I am totally confused. This is the most voodoo playoffs ever. For sure, my bracket is like a mess. Any kind of reputation I might have had for accuracy is gone to shit. Good thing that all the good prognosticators pretty much said the same thing as I did. If Winnipeg loses, I think I might get like one right out of the whole first round. That is astronomically horrible, and the first time ever would be a first time ever. Brutal. But I did say that on every one of them that I picked, I was like, this just feels like a lot of upsets, and all of them were very close, and there was a lot of reasons to pick the other side. But this one, the Colorado Calgary one, where does Calgary go from here? Seriously, it wasn't their goaltending that was a problem, and I said if Colorado could win because they were going to put Smith as in net. Look, I haven't even shaved. I'm so befuddled by all of this. Uh, they Smith was not the reason why they lost. Um, Now I know that I didn't like their second line because I don't think Backlund is a natural second line center. I still think they need to do that. They need to fill out their second line, but their team defense was deplorable, and um, in a lot of ways they just got unlucky. This is one of those ones where Colorado really got the bounces, but and I did mention in the video, if you look at it with this series, that they really had nothing to combat McKinnon and Rantanen, and they should put them all on the top line because they could slaughter them. Like I said, I don't think Backlund is your classic second liner, and he's not your classic like he's not an elite defensive defenseman. He's very very good, but not elite. Anyways, this was about where does Calgary go forward. Not really why they lost. I think the reason why they lost is they need to get bigger up front. They probably I've said all along I never really thought Monahan was a number one center that was going to win you a cup. Easy to say to just go out and get a number one center. It's possible that Malkin could be available and you could package Monahan to get something like that. And honestly, I would if you could. If he'd be willing to come because he's got an 18 no-go list. If he'd be willing to come to Calgary and you could package Monahan with a few others, I would definitely do that. Something to look into. But I think that's something that they do have to do. This could be just simply an aberration. A new coach. Peters has an old school mentality. Maybe he's got to change things up a little bit and look at things differently. But like I said, when I say horrible, their defense. Yeah, they gave up the puck a lot. They looked nervous. I think it was unpreparation, and I love Peters, but I don't think they were really prepared for the series. Um, they just looked disheveled the whole time. Maybe, like I said, it's an aberration. You just keep them coming. You keep the team as it is or close to it. Bring in another goaltender, like Smith, one more year. You're maybe not sure about Rittich. Give him a shot. But I don't think there's really much you can change unless you can do something. If you're going to do something huge, I would try to package Monahan with some prospects and get a guy like Malkin. But if you can't do something big like that, it's possible that you just keep it the same, let the team gel, and a little more build up as a team. Go into it next time. Peters, it was really, I think it was his first time as coaching in the playoffs. And to me, it just seems, I still think he's a great coach, but it doesn't seem like they were as prepared as they should be going in. I know one thing, and one of the guys they could package would be Brody. Brody had a poor year. They've got what's his name coming up? Anderson coming up, and he is freaking fantastic. So they don't really need Brody anymore. There's a place you can add more. You got Shylington that's been waiting around. He's been percolating in the minors. Came up. I thought he looked good this year. They didn't play him. Um, so Magnuson and him you can look at trading a guy like Brody with possibly, like, if you're going to do a really big freaking trade, get yourself a number one center. You could package Brody and Monahan for Malkin with the first. I would do that, honestly. I think Malkin is a superstar, and that is the kind of, just imagine Malkin and Johnny Hockey together on the freaking first line. Wow. And then your second line of Backlund doesn't seem so. It isn't okay. He's not a great center, but he's still a good second line center. He'd be a second line center on most teams. But when you have Monahan, who I don't think is a classic number one, it puts a little too much pressure on him to score. Um, Monahan doesn't seem to be able to come up big when it's big either. Now in Pittsburgh, Monahan would be perfect in a second line role. Plus, they need help on defense, especially for puck moving defensemen. It's not like Brody is horrible. He might have had just a bad year, but he's a good defenseman. But they really don't need him with their defensemen that they have coming up right now. So I don't know if Rutherford would be interested in a trade like that. I've heard rumblings that Malkin could be available, and I'd be going hardcore for him. The other thing you could do is see if you can draw Duchesne in on free agency and bring him as a number one center, which wouldn't be too bad. Then you could just put Backlund on the third, Duchesne, and keep Monahan, and then at least you have complete amount of depth up the middle. It's a possibility. I didn't really look at their salary cap, but I'm pretty sure they'd be able to work something out. Like I said, and then you could also trade Brody and maybe keep restocking those prospect pools, and that would give you a. So they've got options. It's not horrible. It's not terrible. It's not like there's teams that are much worse off, like the Pittsburgh Penguins, as I just mentioned, who have nothing in the cupboard. At least Calgary's got some stuff in the cupboard. They can let this roll and try to do better next year. Well, boys and girls, that's my full 42%. That's all I have to give. Hit that subscribe and the bell, and I'll send you a My NHL Pearls of Wisdom necklace, helicopter to your door, and signed by me. I know. Much sought after, of course. Have a great day. Lots of love to you.